Time and time and again, I always told myself, I'll watch it later, sometime, someday. But then, on March 26, 2022, I finally found an opportunity to watch it. I finally watched the Sonic movie. And quite the timing, actually, since the Sonic 2 movie was just around the corner, actually. Now, as for what I think of the Sonic 1 movie, well, I think it is a very good movie. Not the best movie, not the worst movie. It is a very good movie. A very good from video game to movie adaptation, I feel. I remember in 2019 when the Sonic movie trailer was uploaded on YouTube and it was received very, very poorly. So poorly in fact that the original uploaders momentarily took it down. And yeah, I can see why. I mean, if your video gets so many thumbs down to oblivion, then understandably it kinda mentally breaks you, you know. And then, on November 12th, 2019, Tyson Hess announced on Twitter that he had been brought on board to work on the Sonic movie. Some good news indeed. And if it wasn't for him and his team, then we all would be ending up with the more freakish looking Sonic design from the deleted trailer. And so, I would like to congratulate him and his team, and give them a lot of kudos and a round of applause for fixing Sonic's design. But sadly, just as Mr. Hess and his team fixed Sonic's design, his studio closed its doors, which I think is quite the bummer, actually. I mean, if they stuck around all the way up to, I think, 2020, then Mr. Hess and his studio could have still been open for business. Maybe. Or maybe not. But hey, who would have foreseen that the Sonic movie would succeed with $300 million in its box office? I wouldn't have guessed it. I actually don't think that even Paramount themselves could have foreseen its success. I mean, if I remember this piece of information correctly, please correct me in the comment section below. When the movie was just around the corner, the creators were quite hush-hush whether the movie was good or not. So, if fans asked if the movie was good or not, then the creators would vaguely answer with, well, I don't know, only one way to find out. And sadly, that is just how it goes when you work for a company and you sign a contract or a non-disclosure agreement. You can't open your mouth too much or straight up tell people that the product you're selling is bad. But luckily for us, in this reality, in this timeline, the Sonic movie turned out very good. I think it is quite poetic that the Sonic movie, of all the video game franchises, ended up becoming good after all. I think it is very poetic, because it is the opposite to how it is for Sonic's video games. For you see, I remember a time back in the mid-2000s, all the way to the mid-2010s, when the Sonic games back then, Sonic 06, Sonic and the Secret Ring, Sonic and the Black Knight, Sonic Boom, and on and on and on and on and on, were bad. This is why I am very relieved and happy that the Sonic movie turned out very good. As far as I've seen with video game movie adaptations, I think the Sonic movie is the first and only video game movie that actually worked this time. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can look up any from video game to movie adaptation by Uwe Boll, or look up the Max Payne movie, or that old live action Super Mario movie, or the live action Street Fighter movie. Rest in peace Raul Julia, or Raul Julia. Spoiler alert, these movies are not that good. But anyways, as I was saying about the Sonic movie, about its story, I don't want to talk too much about the movie story because I don't want to spoil it for you, but I will spoil the bonus scene at the end. But first and foremost, I'm going to talk about what I liked and disliked about the movie. I like the casting for this movie. Jim Carrey, man. Seeing him on screen brought back memories from back when I was growing up. The Grinch, Bruce Almighty, Yes Man, Dumb and Dumber, Fun with Dee and Jane, A Christmas Carol, The Mask, Ace Ventura, and one of my all-time favorites, Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. That movie was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid. And now, one of my favorite actors of all time plays Dr. Eggman in the Sonic movie. And that just blows my mind. And it's not just that. He plays Dr. Eggman for a new generation of kids that mostly haven't heard of Jim Carrey before. The new generation of kids that watch the Sonic movie doesn't realize who he is. And that just, upsets me a little bit. When Jim Carrey played Dr. Eggman, he was closing into his 60s. And I'm amazed at how springy and energetic he is. And he still got his special comedic touch. I think it is amazing that he still got it after all these years. But aside from Jim Carrey, I've never heard of the other actors before, or seen them in previous movies, or at least I don't think so. At first, it was hard for me to get used to these new cast of actors. These new cast of actors that I am not so familiar with. But now I like them actually. I think their acting is very good. By the way, back when I first heard of who was going to do the voice for Sonic, back in I think maybe 2019 or maybe 2020, I was surprised to find out that Roger Craig Smith would not play Sonic for the movie. Instead, Sonic will be played by Ben Schwartz, an actor that, like many of the other actors on the movie, I never heard of previously. And at first, in the beginning, I was not on board that he would play Sonic instead of Roger Craig Smith. I was not a big fan of Ben Schwartz in the beginning, but then eventually, I started to warm up to him, and now I like his version of Sonic. I think his take on Sonic is very good. I like his voice acting. But as for the other voice actor, spoilers for those who haven't watched the ending, Tails, of all the characters, popped up. And I was surprised to find out that Tails was voiced by the current voice actress behind the video games. I thought Tails was going to be voiced by someone more Hollywoody? If that is even a word. But yeah, I think it is great that Tails is voiced by the same voice actors behind the games. Now to speculate what the Sonic 1 movie means for the sequel, I wonder what Sonic and Tails' dynamic duo is going to be like in the sequel. Do they immediately start off as friends already? Or do they know each other from childhood? Or is this their first meeting? Maybe, who knows? I guess we're all going to find out come this April. I really wonder if the Sonic movie sequel will be the last Sonic movie. If not, then is there going to be another character introduction in the end? Who's it going to be this time? Shadow? Blaze? Amy? Or is it going to be one of the IDW characters like Tangle and Whisper? Or maybe there won't be another character introduction in the end. Who knows? But anyways, that's all I wanted to say for today, but before I close off this podvid, about Hero or Villain Mr. Medicare, episode 3. I'm working on it, but sadly, I run into a very frustrating snafu. My project got corrupted. I don't know why, and as a consequence, I lost a lot of my data and timing. I was luckily able to salvage from a previous save state, but I am back in the past. I have to do a lot of editing almost all over again. But don't worry everybody, I'm going to be stubborn and put everything back together somehow. My own solution to this problem is to edit the video until Shotcut starts to lag And then, when it lags too much, I will cut the video in half and export it, and then put that exported video back into the project. I will delete the previous parts, and then I'll do the same thing when it lags again. Export video, put the half-baked complete video in the project, and continue where I left on, and so and so and so. I've noticed that shortcut, that the more filters and tracks that I use, the more the project starts to lag and crash. So, please everyone, please pray for me. Pray for me that episode 3 won't get corrupted ever again. And by the way, does anybody have a long-term solution for me? I tried to look up certain solutions on the internet, you know, like enabling proxy mode and enabling preview scaling, but I don't know. Should I try another editing program like OpenShot or Kdenlive? I tried OpenShot in the past, but that too lags and stutters for me. And there's also the whole learning curve to it, you know, how to use it correctly and be efficient and all that. And I don't know, man. To learn and getting used to a new editing software is hard, and I'm not sure if I should learn how to use an editing software all over again. But at the same time, I am so sick and tired of Shotcut failing me so many times. I really wanted to like Shotcut. I really wanted to. I wanted to have a good time with this, but why do some people on YouTube recommend Shotcut so much when clearly the software fails on me so many times? I mean, I myself would never recommend a malfunctional car, you know. But anyways, that's all I want to say for today. Take care and have a nice one, everybody. You'll hear from me again. Bye bye for now. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes, ma'am. No.